Volatile yet freedom loving, it's time we talk about the triple conjunction of Mars, Uranus, and the North Node. Combustible and volatile and highly eruptive. Astrologers have been eyeballing this celestial combination for months, if not years. I'm talking about the triple conjunction of Mars, planet of conflict and severance, as well as Uranus, the planet of rebellion, upheaval, and awakening, and the North Node of fate and destiny, which adds sort of a destined or intensified flavor to this combination on the world stage. So this is happening here at the end of July. Uranus and the North Node are already tightly conjunct. At the beginning of August, 1st and 2nd, Mars is going to agitate and energize this combination. This is a volatile combination, and we are going to see this play out in a number of different ways. But let's break this down. First, Mars and Uranus. This is a quite a rebellious combination. It's eruptive, it's combustible, it craves freedom at any and all costs. I compared it, my website write-up, to a teenager hurling themselves out of a second-story window to escape into the night, to be free and to party with their friends. Or a Molotov cocktail being thrown into the den of their oppressors. A little bit more of an anarchist take on it. But the point is that, yeah, these old cookbooks refer to this combination as accident prone, Mars Uranus. And why? Because Mars and Uranus want to create a commotion. They want to create shock value. It's also just, there's an impetus for freedom at all costs. So whether that is a personal freedom and willing to go to extreme lengths to achieve that adrenaline high, like an extreme athlete, like a skateboarder on a handrail, a snowboarder doing a 1080, Mars, Uranus aspects, they crave adrenaline. They get high on it. Or is it a freedom seeking that is about human rights, human dignity, justice? So with this happening on the nodes of fate and destiny, I'm thinking that there's going to be something about an urge for freedom, a push for freedom, shock value, drawing attention to something. I'm reminded of an event that did not get enough press. Months ago on Earth Day, we had an individual who tragically lit themselves on fire in a protest against climate change. Huge. That happened right before eclipse season. We are in a time when, the North Node in Taurus, we're talking about Earth issues. We're talking about climate crisis. This stuff has been an issue for a long time, but particularly since Uranus entered Taurus in 2018, it's become a more urgent matter. So the eclipses along the Taurus-Scorpio axis, they are highlighting this. And let's break this down quickly, because when we talk about the North Node or the South Node, that is a portal for eclipses. And eclipses are consciousness shifters. They are quickeners, and also there are fated and unexpected twists of events. So looking at last eclipse season, we saw the leak of the eventual overturn of Roe v. Wade, ironically rivaling a baby formula shortage. So there was stuff like that going on at the time. We also saw inflation hit a record high. Price gouging is happening, as well as shortages of supply. We also saw the price of gasoline hit record highs here in the States. So we're talking resources. Resources is a huge theme for the Taurus-Scorpio axis. We also saw crypto plummet. And so finances, that's a huge one. We're seeing extremes. We're seeing inflation. We're seeing crashes. So we're seeing extremes along the nodal axis too. So yeah, actually the Russian invasion of Ukraine, that happened on an eclipse trigger, which has created seismic effects in the world of how we resource important commodities such as gas and oil. So that is a huge part of this story too, which is still going on. Some astrologers are looking at that. I'm here looking at Roe v. Wade as the tip of the iceberg of the infringements of other human rights and rights Americans enjoy and depend upon. So I'm wondering what the big commotion is going to be here in the next week. I imagine there's going to be an upset. I imagine there's going to be demonstration. I imagine there's going to be something that draws our attention to an issue, be it a human rights issue, be it an environment issue, be it a financial issue, or all of the above. There is something seismic about Mars and Uranus on the North Node. It adds an element of collective importance. It also intensifies that energy. So the North Node has an insatiable intensification quality to it. So there's something ultra volatile, there's something ultra destructive, but let's also remember the higher side of Uranus is wake up call. Sometimes you have to hit a rock bottom in order to make a change. Sometimes things have to get really bad before they get a lot better. So there's something we are being awakened to in a dramatic way under this aspect. And I can only hope and cross my fingers that there's going to be something to pull us all out of this existential ecological dread. I know it every time I put something in the recycle bin. Every time I can't put something in the recycle bin, I am just at my wit's end about, we need systems to change. And luckily, Uranus is in this fated configuration with Saturn-Uranus square. We've talked about it a lot on here. And that combination is about technological innovations that help make life a little bit easier for people. And I think the biggest need, whether we know it or not, is the need to shift into living in greater harmony with this planet. There's so many parallels between everything I just named. Finances, the financial gap between, classes, basically, and the way the elite burn fuel, for example, and private jets. I mean, there's so much overlap here, and it's all related to what is happening in these fixed signs right now. So one thing I can say with certainty is that we will see some pivotal developments, some things that could potentially be really important for us on a socio and political level, on an environmental level, on a financial level. We shall see. But yeah, hopefully it's for the better and to wake us all up to choosing Taurus, a more beautiful and ecological way of living in harmony with the planet. So that's a little bit about this aspect. I know there's so much more that we could say about it, but in the spirit of astrology shots, I'm out. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thanks so much for tuning in with me today. Foundations of Astrology relaunches on September 7th. You can find out more information about this 11-week course on my website, katherineurban.com. Also, you know where to find me on all platforms at AstroKatherine.